Hey guys, how's it going? Today I want to talk about replayability and my thoughts on it. If you like the video, consider subscribing, leave your own thoughts in the comments below, and let's get into it. So first off, obviously we're not talking about games like Fall Guys or Smash Bros, because those don't really have a story to be replayed, they're just rounds to be replayed, so we're not covering those. So I kind of want to start at the lowest level of replayability and work my way up. On the lowest level we have games like Octopath Traveler and Pokemon. These games can be really fun, but there really isn't much replayability. This is mostly due to the lack of variety. For instance, Octopath Traveler is a 70-hour RPG, but there really isn't much variety there, so you would be playing the exact same 70 hours that you already played, which doesn't sound super fun to me. One step up from that are games like Undertale. These games have replayability in the fact that they have different endings. Now, this might have replayability to some people, but a lot of people won't want to replay a game just to get a different ending, so it just depends on who you are. One step higher than that are games like Fire Emblem Three Houses. This game has four stories to play through, and these stories are very different but taking place like at the same time, with the same general events going on. And it's really cool, for instance, to play through one house and be on one side of a war, and then to later play the game again and be on a different side of the war. This type of storytelling can be really cool because you'll get a lot more details for certain things if you play one story versus the other, which can give you a lot more lore and add a lot of depth to certain characters and their motivations for things. And then at the top level we have games like Terraria and Stardew Valley. These games typically have a little bit less story to them, but there's a lot you can do because it's more of a sandbox game. For instance, with Terraria, you can play either as like a Crimson or a Corruption world. You can change the difficulty of the world, you can change its size, you can decide what class you want to play as right from the beginning. In essence, in these games, there's a lot of different things you can do to keep the game fresh after hundreds of hours of playing it. And this type of replayability is my favorite, especially like for content and stuff, because you can talk about a game with a lot more variety, a whole lot more. Whereas with a single story game, it's a little bit harder to keep that conversation going because once you've played it, you've played it. So that's like my favorite type. My second favorite would obviously be the Fire Emblem Three Houses type, because it's really cool to get different perspectives on certain events happening, and I think that whole storytelling aspect is really cool. The last thing I want to mention, of course, is just because a game has a lot of replayability doesn't make it super fun. Like Octopath Traveler 2 is one of my favorite games, but I don't really want to replay that. And I'm sure there are a ton of games with a lot of replayability that just aren't as good as a lot of these other games. But anyways, that's my 2 cents on it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you want to. Be good people, and I hope you have a fantastic day.